Jorge Díaz-Rullo has become just the 5th person to send Ondra's Change, 9B Plus, or 515C. Yes, the same route that we reported on last week that Alex Megos successfully climbed. We'll also talk about a V16 or 8C Plus bouldering ascent from Shawn Raboutou, a bouldering second ascent from Adam Ondra, Yannick Garnbret sport climbing at a famous crag in France, and an iconic boulder in Rocklands, South Africa that has sadly toppled to the ground. My name is August. Welcome to August Climbing. I hope you all are having a nice summer. We've got a comment of the week before getting into today's news. Robs4999 commented, "Don't forget Mejdi Schalck. He went on an absolute tear in Wood and Squamish, BC." Thank you for the comment. You are absolutely right. I missed talking about Mejdi last week, so we will be sure to talk about him today. Things are still lively in Flatanger these days, so let's jump right in and talk about the latest ascent there from Jorge Díaz-Rullo. The route is Change, the world's first 515C or 9B plus. It was first ascended by a 19-year-old Adam Ondra almost 12 years ago in 2012. It saw a second ascent from Stefano Ghisolfi in 2020. This was followed by an ascent from Seb in 2022, and Alex Megos this month, making Jorge only the 5th person to have sent this iconic sport climb. Let's see what he had to say on Instagram from August 29th. "I still can't believe it happened. Being able to pass the boulder problem at the beginning from the ground for the first time and then climbing the 50-meter complete line was a physical and mental fight that I will never forget. I gave everything I had. My arms and body couldn't do more, but in the end, I managed to clip the chain. Climbing this line, which is a piece of climbing history, means a lot to me. Traveling to Norway to try to repeat this route, which became the world's first 9B plus in 2012 by Adam Ondra, who is the climber I admire the most, was always a dream, one of those that you think you will never ever fulfill." In 2023, Díaz-Rullo sent 2 other 9B pluses, Bibliography and Mejorando la Semfena. This send of Change adds a 3rd 9B plus to his list, and Jorge may not be done just yet in Flatanger. He shares, "We are close. Yesterday sharing attempts in Move with Alex Megos and Seb. I never stop learning." Move is graded 9B/plus or 515B/C. It was first ascended by Adam Ondra in 2013 and repeated by Seb in 2019. Perhaps Seb is sharing all of the key beta with Jorge and Alex. We'll keep an eye out for more news from Flatanger soon. Next up, Shawn Raboutou snags a second ascent of United V16 or 8C plus in Japan. This problem was established by Ryuichi Mirai in 2019. It's a sit start to decided a V14 or 8B plus by Toru Nakajima. You can watch Mirai's first ascent and Raboutou's second ascent on the Mellow Climbing channel. I will link to both of those videos in the description. The Olympics are over, but Adam Ondra is still crushing. This is a V16 or 8C plus first ascent by Piotr in spring of this year. The boulder is called Flow State, located in Val d'Aoun, Trentino, Italy, and Ondra had this to say about it. "Piotr made the first ascent this spring, and he did not have to convince me much to go to Val d'Aoun and give it a try. I'm very happy to make the second ascent of this line, and I am very curious if the line gets the attention it deserves. Regarding the grade, I think the way that Piotr sent it is surely an 8C plus. It climbs a super cool 8B Grizzly for the first part that I was able to flash, and then it goes right via 3 very desperate moves. The last hard move is not even a move. It is just releasing your left toe hook. Piotr made a full cut loose where I was able to keep my right foot on the rock. To be able to do that, you need to be of a similar height like me. There might be a bit of an advantage even in the lower moves, but this last move is definitely a game changer. I think it could be 8C for my height. For shorter climbers, it is 8C plus for sure. Hats off to Piotr for the first ascent, and watch out for him. He has the passion, talent, and so much drive. I think Ondra is spot on with his commentary about the grade of flow state. He essentially downgrades the problem, but only for himself or someone of a similar height, maintaining that for a shorter climber, it would still be V16 or 8C+. It's not always going to make sense to have differing grades for a boulder problem based on the climber's height, but this one to me is just a great example of where it does make sense to have separate grades. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this in the comments. And here's a recent send from Jimmy Webb. The boulder problem is called Ego Death, a V15 or 8C put up by Keenan Takahashi in September of last year. Webb had this to say on Instagram: possibly best hard block in the Colorado Alpine? I think so, though you all can be the judge. Very stoked to snatch this thing up quickly, proving to myself that I may be more ready for those fall temps than I thought. Next up, there's quite a bit of news coming out of Rocklands, South Africa. We did a full episode on Rocklands last month, so be sure to check out that video for additional context. Let's start off with the bad news. You've probably seen photos of this iconic Rocklands boulder called the HATCHLING V11 or 8A. It was first ascended by Noah Kaufman in 2008 and has since then received 200 plus logged ascents. The iconic nature of the HATCHLING has much to do with its aesthetics, looking like a giant cracked eggshell teetering atop a pedestal. Here's Michaela Kirsch with one of the most recent ascents of this boulder problem. But sadly, no future climbers will be able to attempt this problem, as it was recently reported by Daniel Janja to have collapsed almost entirely. There's much speculation about whether it fell down on its own, or did someone intentionally push it over? No one seems to know for sure, and I'm at least glad that no one was injured by the rock fall. I will link to a few articles about this in case you want to learn more. Now on to some rapid fire news of recent ascents in Rocklands. I will try my best to pronounce this climber's name. Piotr Oleszczuk on August 9th shared that he had set Spray of Light V15 or 8C. I will link to an awesome video of that in the description. Chris Cosser is also sending some amazing climbs in Rocklands, including Monkey Wedding, V15 or 8C, saying, "I'm very proud to have climbed this historic boulder, and even more so for it to be my first of the grade." Chris then shared that the very next day he climbed Spray of Light, V15 or 8C, adding that it's been a good couple of weeks in the lands. Thilo Schröter shares, "The last 10 days have undoubtedly been the best couple days I've ever had on rock." He shares a tick list here, including ascents up to 8C. That one was Monkey Wedding. Siara Fabbri has sent the Arch V13 or 8B, reporting, "So happy I could send this one a couple weeks back on the last day of our trip. The movement and textures on this line make it so fun. Body tension and crimping hard through the lower moves, then lock-offs on slopers into a mantle." Siara also sent Law and Order V12 or 8A plus during her time in Rocklands. Jenn DeBellis also sent Law and Order V12 or 8A plus, noting, "My first of the grade. Nothing is more satisfying than dedicating all your energy and intention towards mastery and receiving concrete evidence of progress towards that goal along the way." Next, Isabelle Faust reports, "Well, I did Myrta V14 8B plus on the 6th. The experience was insane. Felt so good. I went through a lot over the years trying to try this boulder, and putting that into context for Insta is hard. But it meant a lot to me, and this moment was serene. Not my hardest boulder, but maybe the most meaningful." Isabelle has done multiple double-digit sends in Rocklands this year, including Violator Sit V11, reporting, "This is a very, very hard for the grade boulder from Nalehukataibo. It's next to Ocho, amazing rocks, subtle moves. I think it's at least V12, but enjoyed it either way." Hats off to all these climbers who are crushing it in Rocklands this year. And now on to a climber with an impressive tick list from 2 other iconic climbing areas. Starting off with these most recent ones from Squamish, British Columbia in Canada. We're talking about Mejdi Schalck now, who shared about a recent ascent of Dreamcatcher, which is graded 514D or 9A. Mejdi shared on Instagram, "This climb has always been in my mind. I remember years ago watching the video of Chris Sharma doing the first ascent. This would have been from 2005. The first time being in front of it felt crazy. I'm glad that I was able to send it pretty quickly. After working all the moves, I was able to quickly red point up to the last crux. I rested a little bit, and a few sessions later, I sent it." But Mejdi didn't stop there. He had a bit of bouldering in mind as well, sharing on August 23rd, "Squamish sends. After sending Dreamcatcher, I had a bit of time left to try some boulders in Squamish. The forest treated me pretty well during these days. There are still many boulders left that I would like to do one day. Sadly, I don't know if I will be back soon." But check out this impressive tick list with sends. I mean, so many double-digit sends, but all the way up to V14 or 8B+, with these 2 at the top, the Reckoning and Deadlift. And Mejdi Schalck has been on a tear recently, because if we go back even a bit further to July, he shared back from a great trip in Magic Wood, had the chance to climb some crazy lines here, excited to come back and set up some harder projects. And this tick list from the trip, quite similarly, we're seeing 2 8B+, Power of Now, and the Never Ending Story, and a whole slew of other double-digit bouldering sends. And there's someone else who was hanging out in Magic Wood recently, a climber from the United States who recently competed in the Olympics, Jesse Grouper. He shared on Instagram, "Romping around in the woods, some joy, some hardship, and lots of feeling lucky to get to play on rock. Still feeling grateful for all the people around me who are lifting me up." And let's close the video out with 2 other Olympians who are projecting sport climbs in the iconic Céüse, France. Yannick Flohe shared, "Still trying Rastaman vibration, still falling at the last crux, and still enjoying the process of trying hard. Hopefully I can send before leaving to Copper for the Lead World Cup." Rastaman Vibration is an Alex Megos first ascent from 2022 of a long-standing Chris Sharma project. And the grade of this route comes in at 515B or 9B. Also spending time projecting in Céüse is the GOAT, Janja Garnbret. We've gotten a few glimpses of this on Instagram. She's apparently doing a film project and projecting some iconic sport climbs there. What routes do you think she's working on? And what would you love to see Janja send? Let me know in the comments. And my name is August. Thank you so much for watching.